Hello, hello, welcome back to Math is Easy Step by Step. We are going over in this 10th part video of how to find zeros of functions. But before we do that, I wanted to continue going over finding the greatest factoring out using the greatest common factor method. And so this will be the third greatest common factor video in a row. And so I would like to go fairly quickly, but I'd also slow down to show you expanded form method as well. So I'd like to look at these three terms. What do these three terms share? Well, I know each is divisible by 3. So I can divide 3 into each one of these terms evenly without a remainder. And they each have at least a value of x to the third power. So I can divide 3x to the third power in each of these terms. So I'm going to factor out or divide 3x to the third power for each of these terms. That goes on the outside of the parentheses. What goes on the inside is what's remaining after I factor. And again, that's the greatest common factor. I'd also like to show you expanded form method for those of you that may not be familiar with what terms can be divided evenly. So again, show all factors multiplying up for each term. Expanded form to determine if you need that help. No problem doing that. It's absolutely the equivalent. What number or coefficients and letter, the variable, can be divided evenly into each of the terms, right? These are the three terms: 6x to the 7th power, a positive 3x to the 4th power, a negative 9x to the 3rd power. A lot of people think subtraction, and I guess you can, but technically you would distribute that invisible negative 1, making that a negative 9 term. And you can put a plus sign between any terms, and that helps you to clarify. If you're unfamiliar with that, please check out some of my prior videos. I go over that in depth. So here I'm going to be showing you expanded form for each of these terms that you see and how they break down and what each of them share. So 6 times x to the 7th power is 2 times 3. That gives me 6. 2 times 3 is 6. Times 7 x values. Remember, when you multiply the x values, you add up those exponents. That gives me 6x to the 7th power. 3x to the 4th power. Well, I know 3 times 1 is 3. And x times itself 4 times gives me x to the 4th power. And I know 3 times a negative 3 would give me a negative 9, times 3x values will give me a negative 9x cubed. What do each of these terms share? Well, this first term, 6x to the 7th power, has a 3. The next term, 3x to the 4th power, has a 3. And the negative 9x cubed has a 3. So I'm going to put over to the right what they share. They each share 3. And at least 3 x values. So 3 times x times x times x is that 3x squared value that they all share. All right, the next step is what you're going to do is you're going to want to divide that 3x into each of those terms. And that's what I'm going to show you here in my next piece of paper here. Since each term shares a 3x cubed, you want to divide into each of the terms in order to factor the expression and simplify. So step 2, divide 3x cubed into each of the terms. I'm going to show you that here, and of course I'll show you the expanded form version as well. So 6 divided by 3 is 2. And remember, when you divide exponents, the rule is you subtract. So 7 minus 3. I'm showing you that here. Plus, plus. 3 divided by 3 is 1x. I'm using the invisible one, but again, you could just put an x value there. They both are the exact same thing. 4 minus 3. And I'll show you the answer here, of course. 4 minus 3 is 1. And I can put a big old plus sign here or down here. Negative 9 divided by 3 is a negative 3. x to the third power minus x to the third power 3 minus 3. I'm showing you here. All right. I'll show expanded form next, but I want to go through this slowly to make sure that it is crystal clear you understand what we're doing. So we just divided our 3x cubed term in each of the terms. We're simplifying. And here I'm showing you that 7 minus 3 is 4. 4 minus 3 is that invisible 1. You could just leave this x, and that's perfectly okay as well. And 3 minus 3 is x to the 0 power. Now, anything raised to the 0 power is 1. If you don't know that, check out some of my videos I've created on exponents. I clearly explain how x to the 0 power is 1. Negative 3 times 1 is still just negative 3. So I'm breaking this down. I'm showing you that here. I just bring these terms down as I'm simplifying. Negative 3 times a 1 is a negative 3 value. So 2x to the 4th power plus x minus 3. I have factored that original term down to its simplest form. Are there any terms here I can add? Remember, you can only add or subtract like terms. That's the same variable or letter and the same exponential power or the same constant value. No, this is simplified as far down as I can go. So this is my remainder. It would go inside the parentheses, and what I divided, 3x cubed, would go outside the parentheses. So let me show you a little bit more. Let me show you expanded form. And then we'll move on and we'll check our answer if time allots in the same video. So 6 times x to the 7th is 2 times 3 times 7x's. Remember, I'm dividing by 3 times x cubed, and that's what you see here. Plus 3 times 4x's is 3x to the 4th power. Plus negative 3 times 3 is that negative 9 x to the 3rd power. And remember, I'm dividing by 3 x cubed, which is 3 times x times x times x. So if you don't know the rule that you subtract exponent values when you divide, like we're doing here, you can write it in expanded form. And then anything over itself is 1. So 3 over 3 cancels. X over x cancels. X over x cancels, and x over x cancels to 1. 2 times 1 times 1 times 1 times 1x is 2x to the 4th power, which you see here, 2x to the 4th power. Plus, plus, 3 over 3 is canceled, x over x is canceled, x over x is canceled. I'm only left with 1x that's positive, so I have a positive x. Plus, plus, that's that plus sign I said you could add anywhere. Doesn't change the terms. You have 3 over 3 is 1, x over x is 1, x over x is 1, excuse me. What am I left with? I'm left with a negative 3 value. So we're running out of time here. I'm going to create a video part 11, which will be checking our answer in step 3 for this factoring using the greatest common factor. Thank you for joining me. Hopefully this is helping you out a little bit. And if I've helped you, please help me. Math is easy. Take it step by step.